A very good morning to all the students. This video for the class 7th subject science chapter number 13, that is motion and time. So this is your lecture number 1. So in today's video we are going to cover the topics of this chapter. So first topic is what is motion. Second is the slow and the fast motion. Third one is what is the speed or the speed of an object. Fourth one, types of the speeds. And fifth one is measuring the time, how to measure the time. The different method or the different time measuring devices or the clocks to measure the time. So let us begin this lecture with the first topic, that is what is motion. So we have already learnt about the different type of motion. So in this chapter we will study about how the motion is related to the time and measurement of the time. So if an object keeps on changing its position with the time, if an object keeps changing its position with respect to the time, it is said to be moving or in motion. So your motion can be of different type. We see the number of vehicles like the bicycles, scooters, buses, they moving on the road. So some are moving the slow while other are moving the fast. Okay. So first is the linear or the straight, in which the object travel in a straight line, that is the linear motion. Second is the circular, in which the object travels along a circular path, that is the circular motion. Then curvilinear motion, in which object move along a curve, that is curvilinear. Next is about the slow and the fast motion. So if one object cover a particular distance in a less time and another object cover the same distance in more time, so the first object is said to be moving slowly while the second object is said to be moving faster. Okay, for example, you both like a Ram and a Shyam, okay, they begin their journey to school together and decide to note the time taken to reach the school. So on the way the car overtake you and you reach the school after some time. That car takes 10 minutes to reach the school, while on the bicycle you take 15 minutes to reach the school. So they cover the same distance of 2 kilometers. So car take the lesser time. It shows that car is faster than the bicycle. Okay, the object, you have to see that the car is faster than the object. So because the car took the lesser time to cover the same distance, so that is fast motion. Or for example, two students decide to run on the school ground. So starting from the same point, the teacher acts as a referee, okay, and tell them to stop when he blows the whistle. After the 30 seconds, wherever they reach 30 seconds, both the student at a different distance. So we can say that student who covered the more distance was faster than one who covered the less distance. So next is about the speed of an object. The distance travelled by an object in unit time is called as speed, or the distance covered by an object in a specific time is called as the speed of an object. So this means that we can find out whether an object is in a slow or the fast by knowing its speed. So a slow moving object is said to be a low speed and a fast moving object is said to be have high speed. So this is considering the object have the same type of motion and are being observed from the same position. Okay, for example, in the competition, we often see that athletes running a 100-meter race, okay, and athletes who take the shortest time to cover a distance of 100 meters and reaches the finish line first, so it is said to be the highest speed. Okay, that is the highest speed and the fast motion. So next is about the different type of motion. Rectilinear motion, the motion of an object along a straight line, that is rectilinear. Here rectilinear. Linear means straight line. So example is motion of a car on a straight road. Next is circular motion. So circular motion is the motion of an object along a circular path. The motion of a earth around the sun. It's a circular motion. Next is the periodic motion. So motion of an object that repeats itself after regular interval time. That is periodic motion. For example, motion of a swing or a pendulum is also an example of a periodic motion. Okay. Next, about the type of the speed. So speed can be defined as the distance covered by an object in a unit time. So this means that if we say a car is traveling at 50 km per hour, it implies that car will cover the 50 km in 1 hour. So 50 km per hour means that car cover the distance of 50 km in 1 hour. So 50 km is the distance covered by and 1 hour is the unit time. So definition of speed is the distance covered by an object in a specific time. So here the distance is 50 km and time is a 1 hour. Okay, so by knowing the speed of the two objects, we can easily tell which one is moving the faster. So next is the type of the speed. So first is the uniform speed. So when the object travel a fixed distance, same time gap, it is said to be have uniform speed. Okay. When object travel a fixed distance at a fixed time gap, it is said to be have uniform speed. This speed is constant in uniform speed. There will be no change in the speed. In non-uniform speed, when an object covers a different distance in different time gap, it is said to be have non-uniform speed. In non-uniform speed, the change will be occur. So the different distance in a different time gap, this object going to be cover the distance in a different time. That is non-uniform speed. Next is about the average speed. Average speed is the total distance traveled by an object divided by the total time taken by the object. That is average speed. So next is about the how to calculate the speed. So speed is equal to total distance covered by an object divided by the total time taken. Speed is the total distance covered by the total time taken divided by the total time taken. Okay, for example, a car travel a distance of 100 km, okay, in 2 hours. So the speed of a car is calculated as like the speed of the car is 100 km and the total time taken is 2 hours. So simply when we calculate this 100 by 2, we got the 15 km per hour is the answer. Okay. So we are all aware that in the starting a car moves slowly, has a slow speed, and then it gradually pick up the speed. So the speed of car keeps changing here. So sometimes it's a slow, sometimes it's a faster. So in this example, when we see the speed of a car is 50 km per hour, so it means that the average speed of the car is 50 km per hour. So during that 1 hour, the speed of the car could be more than 50 km for some time and less than 50 km hour at the other time. So the speed of the car doesn't remain constant here because it's keep changing now. So the speed we calculate here, the average speed. Average speed is the total distance covered divided by the total time taken. Okay. Next is the unit of the speed. The speed can be measured in kilometer per hour or we can say meter per second. Next is when we calculate the distance, so speed is equal to distance upon time. So if we have to calculate the distance, so distance is equal to speed into time taken. Okay. So here if we know any two parameter, we can calculate the third parameter. Next is how to calculate the time. So time taken is equal to distance upon speed. Here if we have to calculate the time taken, so here the time taken is equal to distance upon speed, distance divided by the speed. So these are such formula, or we can say the equation between the speed, distance and time. So whenever we have to calculate the kilometer per hour into meter per second, so simply convert the kilometer into meter. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter, okay, and 1 hour is equal to 16 minutes into 16 seconds. Next is about the measuring time. So there are the many events in nature that repeat after a interval of the time. So first is morning. So the rising of the sun, morning, it's a measuring time. Day and a night, the time between the sunrise and the sunset. Month, the time between the two new moons, that is about how to measure the month. Year, the time the earth takes to complete its one revolution around the sun. So you know that time is important aspect of our life. So all our daily activities from morning to till night are centered around the time. So measuring the time is a great importance to us. Okay, so long time ago people realized that some natural event repeated regularly after a fixed time interval. So they use such movement or event to measure the time. First is about the morning. They observed that the sun rises every day in the morning and sets every day in the evening. So it again rises after a dark period or at the night. They called the time between one sunrise and the next sunrise as one day. Okay. Next is about the day and night. Day and night were measured by the rising and setting of the sun. So they also observed that moon become full after a few days and then start decreasing. So they called the time taken from one full moon to the next as one month. So month was measured by waning of moon. Then about the year. So they realized that a season repeated periodically from one season to the next season of the same kind was taken as 1 year. So this was equal to one revolution of the earth. So year was measured by the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution of the sun. Okay, so these are the some measuring time earlier. Next is about some measuring devices used in the earlier time. So people devised some simple time measuring devices like the sundial, clock, sand clock, water clock for the measuring of the time. So first is about the time measuring device or the clock. So clocks use the concept of periodic motion, okay, here to measure the time. So periodic motion is the motion of an object that repeats itself after a regular interval of the time. It means that it uses the motions that repeat itself in an equal amount of time. So there are the different type of the time measuring devices. The first one is sundial. Here you can see in this picture, it's used the position of a sun to depict the time. So in olden times, people measure the time of a day by using this sundial. Okay, sundial has a triangular blade. Sundial has a triangular blade that is fixed vertically on a dial marked with the different hours of the day. So sun casts a shadow of this vertical blade on the dial. So the position of shadow on the dial gives the time. Okay, so here this one is dial with marking and this is the shadow of the blade. So they can easily find out the time at that particular time with the help of this sundial. Next is the sand clock or the hourglass. So it uses sand to measure the time. So sand clock gives a constant time interval based on the time taken by the sand to flow from one glass bulb to another. So here this is the glass bulb, okay, this is the sand that is present here and this sand flowing from one bulb to another bulb. So sand cloak consists of the two glass bulbs joined by a narrow neck. When the sand cloak is kept upright, so the fine sand from the upper glass bulb flow down to the lower bulb in a fixed interval of the time. So this is about the sand cloak. Next is the water cloak. It uses water to measure the time. So water cloak consists of two containers. Here two containers kept at a different level. So water is allowed to drip from one container to the another kept at the lower level. So the time taken by the entire water to drip from upper to the lower container is used to measure the time travel, okay, or the time interval. So ancient measuring devices like the sundial, sand clocks, water clocks could not be used to measure time for the longer period. So because they couldn't be used to measure the small interval of the time like the minutes and seconds. So to finding out the minutes and seconds, we have the pendulum clock. So it uses a pendulum to measure the time. Okay. So much of the modern life depend on the precious time. So the transportation, communication, computer, transaction bank and the e-commerce, so they have dependent on the accurate clock. So Galileo for the first time demonstrate, a scientist is a Galileo who demonstrate the characteristics of simple pendulum. Okay, the measurement of the small interval was made possible when the pendulum clocks were developed. Okay, in 1700 scientists used this concept of the pendulum to design the clocks and watches. So till today in all the clocks that are designed, so time is measured by making the use of the periodic movement, just constantly repeated. Okay. Next, quartz clocks. So they have an electric circuit that works with the help of the cells. They provide the accurate time. At present time we are using these quartz clock at our houses. So this is it about this all the measuring time, some measuring devices used in the earlier time. Next is the homework of today's lecture. First question is, which of the following cannot be used for the measuring of time? A leaking tap, simple pendulum, shadow of an object during the day, or blinking of eyes. Question number second is, the Paheli and Bujo have to cover different distance to reach their school, but they take the same time to reach the school. So what can you say about their speed? Okay. Next is the question number third is, define the average speed and the different types of speed. You have to define average speed and the types of the speed. So this is it about this lecture. Hope you have understood this lecture. Thank you and have a nice day.